Mike Larson looked around for something to do. It was 2 in the afternoon and he was all caught up. Something was going on, but he didn't know what. He was a draftsman for a manufacturing plant and it was extremely unusual for him not to have a project to work on. Finally, he went into Frank Reynolds' office. Frank was the plant engineer. Mike said, "I ran out of work. Is there anything in the works that I can work on?" Frank told him, "No, the company must be pulling in on its belt. The economy isn't helping even with the low interest rates. I don't know what's going on. There's been no talk of any new improvements or new machinery coming in. If you don't have anything, why not take the rest of the day off?" Mike did just that. He wondered what was going on. It had to be something serious. He got home and decided to surprise Carla, his wife, with supper. When Carla got home, she was surprised that he had started supper. At supper, he told her about how slow his job was at work. Carla said, "Dr. Jenny said Frank told her that he was surprised that there hasn't been any talk of the usual 1-week shutdown this summer. They always shut down for a week to make major improvements and do some preventive maintenance." She said Frank said something is happening that he isn't in on. Carla was Dr. Jenny's chief and surgical nurse. They had been best friends since grade school. Jenny was married to Frank, Mike's boss. They were very close to each other. The next morning there was an announcement over the public address system of an immediate meeting for everyone. Frank and Mike headed for the meeting, where it was announced that the plant would be relocating to another state. It would be closing in 30 days, but everyone would receive 60 days' wages. Mike was shocked at the news. Back in Frank's office, they discussed their options. Frank told him he would give him a deluxe recommendation for any job he applied for. They discussed the other 3 plants that had closed in their town in the last 6 months. There were a lot of people looking for jobs, any jobs. The month went fast with Mike helping with the moving of some of the machinery that was being shipped to the new plant. Frank was going to the new plant to oversee the installation of the machinery. On Mike's last day, Frank shook his hand and wished him well. He told him he would be seeing him from time to time. Mike had applications in at every plant and engineering place within 20 miles. None of them looked very promising, but he could only hope. He was home alone for the first week, doing not much but playing games on the computer and waiting for the phone to ring. On Monday of his second week, Carla said, "As long as you are home all day, you can do some cleaning around here. It won't hurt you, and it's your house as well as mine." He replied, "Do I look like a maid? Housework is for women, not men." Carla was angry at his response. She stormed out of the house and went to work. Jenny noticed she wasn't her normal happy self and asked her what was wrong. She told Jenny about the exchange she had had with Mike. Jenny said she knew Mike and he probably would do some cleaning just to get back in her good graces. That day Mike looked in the yellow pages for someone to clean the house. He found 2 places that cleaned industrial and retail places, but none that did private homes. That shot getting on Carla's good side. That night when Carla got home, she noticed nothing had been done. She was steamed and determined that Mike would do something with his free time at home. At supper she said, "I don't think it is too much to ask for you to at least try to do some cleaning around here. You have all day. I don't expect you to clean all day, but you could do something." Mike said, "I told you this morning. Do I look like a maid? Didn't you get the message?" Carla gave him a dirty look and he knew it was going to be a long night. The next morning was a repeat of the previous morning's conversation. Carla left for work in a dither. She was so angry that he wouldn't at least try to do some cleaning. When she was telling Jenny about it, Jenny said, "Well, to me it looks simple. All you have to do is make him a maid." Dress him as a maid and tell him he's in charge of cleaning from now on. At noon, Carla went and bought a complete maid's outfit and some women's undergarments to fit Mike. She thought it was extreme to have to go this far, but she didn't know any other way. She couldn't find any shoes to fit him, then remembered seeing an ad in the paper for an adult store that sold women's shoes to size 15. She went there and with the help of the clerk she got him a pair of black heels with a 5.5-inch heel. She didn't really want shoes with heels that high, but it was all she could find. That afternoon she was humming to herself when Jenny asked what was making her so happy. She said she knew Mike would be cleaning the house tomorrow. That night at supper she said, "This is the last time I am going to ask you. Will you as a favor to me please do some cleaning tomorrow?" Mike said, "Drop the subject. I have told you, but you don't seem to get the message. The house looks all right. Why are you pushing me to clean it?" Carla said, "I like a clean house. It is not like I am asking you to do something that is impossible. All I am asking is that you try to help me a little. You are home all day and I don't have enough time to do it at night. Now, for the last time, will you do it?" He said, "You know my feelings about it." The next morning Carla was up an hour earlier than usual. She used her best nursing skills to inject a drug into Mike's arm. He never flinched. It was a drug they used in surgeries where they might want the patient to move during surgery. The patient is asleep but able to assist in moving. She got his pajamas off, then glued breast forms to his chest. She thought if she had $1 for every set of these, she helped glue on they could take a nice vacation. Then she slipped the bra on him and hooked it. It was tighter than she expected, but it did what it was supposed to. Then she slid the panties up his legs followed by thigh-high black stockings. Then the short slip was put on him, then the maid's dress. Then she put the heels on his feet. She snapped the locks shut just as he started to stir. She had figured the dosage perfectly. He woke up and felt strange. When he swung his feet off the bed he was surprised when they hit the floor before he was expecting it. He opened his eyes fully and couldn't believe what he was looking at. He had a dress on. How did this happen? He wondered what was going on. He called Carla. Carla came in and said, "Well, good morning, Michelle. Are you all ready for the day?" He asked, "What the hell is going on? How did I get in this dress?" Carla said, "Well, it's simple, Michelle. You kept saying you didn't look like a maid, so I made you look like a maid. You can now do the cleaning and feel it is all right because you not only look like a maid but you are a maid." He was stunned. He stood up to go to the bathroom. He almost fell in the heels. He had to go so bad that he tottered to the bathroom. Carla smiled as she saw her husband with the skirt down to his knees walking unsteadily to the bathroom. She went to the kitchen and got his breakfast ready. She was putting it on the table when he came in. He asked what this was all about. Carla said, "You kept telling me that you didn't look like a maid, so I made you look like a maid. Now, you will clean today and I expect to see something was done today in the cleaning department. Those were the only shoes I could find to fit you and they lock on your feet. If you want to be able to go to bed tonight with them off, you will do some cleaning today. Start in the living room, then the kitchen. After that you can do the dining area and then the baths and bedrooms. Do you understand, or do I have to throw away the key to your shoes?" He said he understood. Carla hummed to herself all the way to work. He started to clean the living room. His meticulous nature made it a major job. In the middle of the afternoon he was done. He started the kitchen. It went faster than the living room. He had the counters and cupboards shining when Carla got home. She was very happy when she saw the kitchen. He told her he didn't have time to do the floors but would get them tomorrow. She said that was fine. When she checked the living room, she was shocked at how nice it looked. Everything shone so much she thought it never looked this good. She noticed all of her knickknacks were shining. He must have spent a lot of time on them. She was very happy with him. He was returning from the bathroom and she noticed he walked a lot better in the heels even if his rear swayed from side to side. At supper she said, "The living room looks superb. I never saw it look better. You did a fantastic job on it. I am proud of you." "Now, it wasn't that bad, was it?" He replied, "I guess it wasn't bad, but these shoes are killing me. After I got started, it seemed one thing led to another. I got carried away with wanting it to look special. It took till the middle of the afternoon. Now that I think of it, I never ate lunch." After supper she unlocked his shoes and he walked around stocking-footed the rest of the evening. He took a leisurely bath before bed. As he soaked, he thought about that it had not been too bad cleaning. He had never done any major cleaning before but thought about Carla's praise and that made it worthwhile. In bed that night they made love. It was very enjoyable and Carla continued to praise him. He fell asleep a happy man. The next morning he woke up at 6. Instead of going back to sleep, he got up and got the uniform on. He shuddered when he heard the click of the shoes. He thought he would ask Carla for the key. He went into the kitchen and started breakfast. He knew Carla always got up at 7, so he wanted it to be ready when she came in. She walked in right on schedule and he set her breakfast down with a flourish. She was so happy that all she could think of was how much she loved him. He told her that today he was going to try to finish the kitchen and dining area. If time permitted, he would get the main bath. She said that was fine. She finished her breakfast and left for work. At work, Jenny asked if Mike was doing any cleaning yet. Carla told her all about it. Jenny said she would like to see it. Carla told her to stop on the way home. Jenny said she would. Meanwhile, Mike was doing the kitchen floor. When he finished, it sparkled like when it was new. He went to work on the dining area. That didn't take as long as he expected and he ate a light lunch when he finished. Then he tackled the bathrooms. He finished both of them and saw he had at least a half hour before Carla got home. His legs were killing him. He remembered a pick Carla had gotten to open the holes on the salt shaker. He got it and tried to pick the lock on the shoes. The first one popped open. He took it off and tried the second one. It popped. He said to himself, "You sly dog, you." When he heard the garage door open, he put the shoes back on. Carla came in and marveled at the kitchen and dining area. He told her that he had gotten the baths also. She looked in at the main bath. It sparkled like one in a magazine. She was totally impressed. She said she was going to change clothes and left him sitting in the living room. The doorbell rang. He didn't want to answer it, but Carla wasn't available, so he went and opened the door. There stood Jenny. He greeted her and invited her in. Jenny came in and looked around the room very critically. Then she said, "You cleaned it like Carla said. I don't think I have seen a room this clean in a long time. You must have a knack for cleaning." He thanked her just as Carla walked in. Carla took her into the kitchen and showed her the baths and everything. The two women came back and sat in the living room. Mike was sitting in his easy chair. Jenny said, "My house could use a cleaning like this. Can I borrow him?" Carla said, "You can't afford him. He is too expensive for you." Jenny said, "How much?" Carla said, $30 an hour. I told you he was expensive. Jenny turned toward Mike and asked, You know our house. How long do you think it would take to give it a complete cleaning? Mike said, I would guess 3 days. Your house is a lot bigger than ours and I haven't finished ours yet, but I will tomorrow. Jenny asked, When can you do my house? Mike said, Probably next Monday to Wednesday. Jenny said, You're hired. I'll see you at 7:30 next Monday morning. Carla asked, Can he come in slacks and shirt? He hasn't been out in a dress. Jenny said, For what I am paying I expect him in his uniform. I think he looks darling in it. Where did you get that full bib apron? Carla told her and they did some small talk for a little while. Jenny left and Carla went to make supper. At supper Carla said, I didn't think she would take you at $30 an hour. I'm sorry, I should have asked you first. Mike told her, It's all right. What amazes me is that I am going to make more an hour cleaning than I did as a draftsman. I can't believe it. Carla said, Well, we are going to have to get you some more sensible shoes. Maybe with a little heel but not too much. Mike said, That would be a great relief. These kill after a while. Carla asked his forgiveness for exposing him to Jenny in the maid's outfit. He told her it was all right. He was surprised that Jenny took it as being natural for him to be in a dress. That evening they went to a shoe store with Mike wearing one of Carla's black knit dresses. He was amazed that of the few people that they encountered no one seemed to notice that he was a man in a dress. They found a pair of black pumps with a 2-inch heel. He told Carla how comfortable they were. Carla told him that she would talk to Jenny about letting him clean in slacks and a shirt. He told her not to bother, as for what she was paying she deserved to get what she wanted. Carla asked, Do you enjoy wearing that uniform? Mike answered, No. Not really. But I look at it as the uniform of the job. It doesn't do anything for me sexually or otherwise. I see it just as a uniform that I must wear. I wouldn't mind wearing black slacks and a white shirt like I did for the office, but if the uniform portrays cleanliness and efficiency in cleaning, then it doesn't bother me. Carla said, You are something else. I kind of expected you to stamp and snort about it, but you have shown me that you can find something positive in just about any situation. I am mighty proud of you. The next evening Carla helped him get his breasts off and he spent 3 days as the old Mike. On Sunday night she reattached the breast forms so he wouldn't have to do it the following morning. The next morning he was up and ready to go at 7 when Carla got up. She wished him luck as he left. She sat thinking that maybe she shouldn't have put him in the maid's outfit or not told Jenny to stop by. She thought about how when something is done you can't undo it. Mike arrived at Jenny's house. Jenny greeted him and was going to show him where the cleaners were. He said he had his own except for a vacuum. She showed him the vacuum and he was all set. She told him Frank was gone for the week helping set up the machinery. He was glad that Frank wouldn't see him in his uniform. Before she left, Jenny offered breast implants for a special price. He blushed and told her it wasn't necessary. Jenny left laughing. He got to work in the living room first. He thought for a doctor they had very simple furniture but easy to clean. He was done in early afternoon and started the kitchen. He was finisher eating the kitchen when Jenny came in. She was super impressed with how nice it looked. When she looked at the living room she could do nothing but compliment him on the job he had done. She told him to check the office library because of all the built-ins. While he was checking it out she called Edwina Sussex, her neighbor, to come and see the living room and kitchen. When he came back out, he was surprised to see both women there. Edwina asked him if he could do her house. Before he could answer, Jenny said he was expensive at $35 an hour. Edwina said she still wanted him. They had set up for the following week on Monday to Wednesday for Edwina's house. Edwina left and Jenny was laughing so hard Mike didn't know what she was laughing about. When she finally stopped laughing, she said, "How about that? I got you a $5 an hour raise." I know Edwina is so competitive that she would want you because she couldn't let me have something she doesn't have. She is a great lawyer but dumb as they come in worldly matters. Mike said thank you for the extra job. He started thinking about how many others would like a home cleaning service. He wondered how hard it would be to start a business. Then he thought about all the paperwork that is involved in a business. He wondered if it was worth it. The next day he finished the office library and the main bath. He told Jenny that one more day should do it. She had Barbara Harvey over to show her the clean house. Barbara wanted their house cleaned. He agreed to do it after Edwina's, including Saturday if necessary. Barbara had said her husband would have to charge some of his businesses that he kept books for more if necessary to pay for it. That night he put an ad in the newspaper looking for help. He said to call on Thursday and Friday if interested. He told Carla he was going to start a house cleaning business. Within 3 weeks he had 4 women working full-time and 5 more working part-time. He had trained them each in his own home on how he wanted them to clean. He was incorporated as a business. He had uniforms for everyone that sported a maid with a halo over her head and angel wings on their back. He gave plenty of credit to his wife for the business as she was named vice president on the incorporation papers and Edwina was named as on the board of directors. He hired his old boss Frank to become the manager and secure supplies at wholesale and gave him a percentage of the profit besides his salary. Within 3 months they had 62 regular customers and many once every 2 weeks or once a month customers. Mike was wearing the best suits and had everything going his way. He went to see his pastor and offer free cleaning for needy older people. This involved sending someone to clean their house or apartment when they couldn't do the job properly themselves or pay for someone to do it. After being in business 9 months, Angel Maids Incorporated was named New Business of the Year. He accepted the plaque thanking the Chamber of Commerce. Then the big surprise, because of his charitable work and his providing a service that was needed, his business was named Business of the Year. In his acceptance speech he said, "The idea of this business came after I lost my job as a draftsman. I owe it all to my wife who made me her maid. I couldn't find anyone to clean our house and soon found myself with more houses to clean than time to clean them. One client said I was her angel maid, so that is where the name came from. I believe every business should try to improve the community where they are located, so we provide for those who for various reasons can't provide cleaning for themselves. This is probably the best part of the business because you meet the nicest people. I accept this award and challenge each of the businesses here to see if someone who had fallen on hard times can use their services. Thank you." There was a standing ovation for him. As they were going home he said to Carla, "Dear, I owe all of these honors to you. If it hadn't been for you putting me into the maid's outfit, I would probably be still sitting around doing nothing worthwhile. Thank you, and more important, I love you."